Alrighty, so let's move on to the next question. What is the demand for medical coders and billers? Well, we feel it's a huge demand. The salary surveys from AAPC and different organizations show that there's a definite increase. I think there was a lot of turnover with ICD10. A lot of older coders decided that was their cue to maybe leave the industry and retire, and a lot of the new ones coming in are filling their shoes. But I feel it's a high demand profession. Yes, you get the typical, it's hard to find that first job because they're looking for people with experience, but that's true of any career field that you try and break into. The newbies have it the hardest, but every person who has a job currently started somewhere. Someone took a chance and hired them. You just have to work extra hard for that first job, and once you get that first one, then you're in the door and you can parlay that, you know, for your next job, and then it gets really pretty easy.
I would add also that specializing is always a good thing too. You know, that to make you more marketable. But
And
it doesn't matter. You have to market yourself. You know, and if you don't network and market yourself, it is just a way of life when you're getting a job nowadays. So you know, there's lots of educational and helpful tips on YouTube and some resources out there. Take some time to look at that. You know, how to get a job, not just a coding job, and take those into consideration. The new I think it was January's AAPC had the magazine had the salary survey come out. So if you guys had a chance to look at that, that'll, you know, that's always interesting to see how it changes. And it goes up every year. You know, they give a percentage of the increase from the previous year.
So AAPC has this section here in their resource section on their salary survey. So you can go in there. I'll put that in the Facebook chat.
If you're certified with them, they send you a survey every year.
Yeah.
And it's really a good idea to fill that out because it helps, you know, portray that that's what they're basing their data on, is people like us who fill that out.
And here, this is basically the question that we're going over. What is the current outlook for the medical coding industry? And according to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, which is always a couple years behind, that's where they're quoting 2012 and 13, published by the U.S. Department of Labor, estimates a growing job market as industry employment is projected to grow by 21%. That's a lot. That's significant. In addition to these new jobs, there will also be open positions as people retire or leave the profession, a high demand for coding services as the healthcare industry continues to grow and the country's population ages. So all these baby boomers are going into the Medicare ranks, or in the Medicare ranks. In addition, you know, to that, you want to keep in mind, I just totally lost my thought.
Well, with ICD10, you know, everybody talked when it was going to roll out the first time, and that all these people set up their retirement. You know, I've been coding for 20 years, and there's no reason for me to stop, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead. You know, I just don't want to learn a new code set. And then they didn't retire. You know, and ICD-10 wasn't as hard when it came out. It wasn't as bad as everybody thought. You know, some of these people. So they did stay, but they took on supervisory roles, most of them, and new coders came in. But they're still filling that uptrend, don't you think, with the new code set? And you know, I think we got through a year of most of the complications were weeded out relatively quickly, and they're starting to hit their stride. But there's still a demand because of ICD-10.
So I remember my thought. What I was going to say was that the title sometimes that you search for isn't always medical coder. Medical coding might be a function of the job, so you might have to expand it and search on related titles. It could be front office personnel. It could be office manager, where they have to know coding as part of their job. So be open to looking at different types of job titles.
Yeah, that's real important. And that's another thing that you can do to help yourself is, how do I, look for jobs in this career field. What, because there's people out there that specialize in teaching you how to do that. So
Mm-hmm.